So let's just jump right into it with QB. Who are your top 5 for week number 4?
So I have Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, as always, and then Lamar Jackson. I mean, you could consider the 3 of them, the elite tier 1 right now. Then I had Joe Burrow, number 4. I was all excited about that. It looks like he's a consensus top 5 this week. And then I have Patrick Mahomes at number 5, but it's really close between him and Herbert. Still, have to monitor the Herbert injury, Keenan Allen. So right now I have Patrick Mahomes, number 5.
Yeah, I have Allen, Lamar, number 2. So a lot of people thought that last week's Dolphins-Bills game was going to be like the shootout. I actually took the under in that game, but I think
great call.
I think this week we're going to get it, though. We're going to get it.
Oh, yeah?
This week we're going to get some fireworks. Ken Dorsey's not going to be smashing iPads 2 weeks in a row.
Can we get a Gabe Davis game this week, too?
I hope so. He dropped an ugly one in that.
I know.
Yeah. There was a lot of ugliness in that one. But, Jalen Hurts, number 3 for me. And then Mahomes 4, Burrow 5. So not knocking Mahomes too much for last week. I think they'll probably come out and be more aggressive after he essentially queued out the offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, on the sideline on the way to the halftime locker room. And remember, Kelsey dropped a touchdown. So I'm not really knocking Mahomes he should have had one more touchdown pass last week. So still got Mahomes number 4 and then Joe Burrow number 5. Thursday Night Football. I don't feel like I ever want to put a quarterback in the top 3 or 4 in Thursday Night Football. So I'll leave Burrow at 5. But who are you high
on? So I'm high on Geno Smith at Detroit this week. He's my QB 15. Woo! He's consensus QB 20 right now. Last week I was +7 on him.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why, honestly. But he's not a QB1 option. Let's not get crazy here. But he has become, a solid QB2 and 2 QB super flex formats. He's QB 19 on the year through 3 starts. Last season, he was QB 15 in 3 starts. And, it has a lot to do with he has DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett at his disposal. So this week against the Lions, this could be a shootout. I mean, a similar game script as last week. They lost 23-27. That's exactly what the implied team totals are right now. Seattle's +4, +5 this week with the over-under is 50. I believe that's the second highest or third highest total on the week. So could be a shootout. So I like Geno Smith this week. He has some rushing upside. He hasn't showed it yet, but he has that potentially if he ever wants to use it. So I do like his upside in that range this week. And then on the other side, I have Jared Goff as my QB 10 right now versus QB 14. I mean, you and I both called that heading into the season. His ADP was criminal.
My best ball teams are flourishing.
Hell yeah. So, I mean, this week, again, the Lions have the second highest team total. So he has a very high floor this week, very high touchdown upside. Potentially, I'm assuming they're going to be without DeAndre Swift. So, they could throw a little bit more this week. Either way, he's a low-end QB1 option for me this week.
Yeah, and since this is the projections episode, we could talk about this real quick because I think you said something interesting about the Seahawks and Geno, how you were +7 on him last week. I was pretty high on him as well, and pretty high on him again. Do you think it has something to do with the way that you're projecting the plays for Seattle? Because the first 2 weeks of the season, I think they averaged something like 48 plays per game, and then that's not normal. You would expect that to regress. So was it just are you looking at just kind of pace and projecting the plays more in the 60s, right? Not based on you're not giving the Seattle Seahawks 50 plays a game.
Well, last year didn't they average high
56? But you're still going to put some regression into that.
Yeah. Heading into last week, right now they're at 55 plays per game. Heading into last week, they were 47,
yeah,
something like. Yeah, so I kind of liked Rashad Penny specifically, just based on the game script, his rushing prop. But they're never going to be above average in terms of plays per game. But I think you made that point last week, which is a good one. So yeah, so I'm not projecting them in the top half of the league, but I'm certainly regressing them, and we kind of saw that happen last week. So I think going forward, high 50s, low 60s would be typical for a team like them.
Yeah, I have them at in the 60s for this, low 60s for this game.
Well, the Lions play at a super fast pace.
Yes,
right?
exactly. So I factor that in. Yeah, because because that's what happens. You get two teams that played at a slow pace, but if they combine, somebody's got to make like use the plays in the game. There's only like so many plays that can like not happen. Like there's still a play clock and it's going to stop every time there's an incompletion. So yeah. I am high on Marcus Mariota yet again. He's my QB 7 this week. He's QB 17 consensus. I love this Atlanta offense. They're putting up points each and every week. They're using all their players now. Now they finally got Kyle Pitts involved and Mariota. This is a game with a total of 50 because it went up once Myles Garrett got in that unfortunate accident. It looks like he's going to be fine, thank goodness, but still up in the air in terms of playing. Clowney's still banged up as well. So at home, Atlanta against this Browns team, I think it could be another game where they scored 24 to 27 points in this one. So love me some Mariota. And then I had Jared Goff written down as well. He's my QB 9 this week. So love Goff as well in this Lions Seahawks game. And I like Geno. I'm not as high as you on Geno, but I'm a couple spots behind, but still higher than consensus. So I think people aren't realizing, these two games that both have a total of 50, the Falcons Browns and the Seahawks Lions. And that usually signals a lot of plays and obviously a lot of points.
Yeah, love the Mariota call. We finally saw both Drake London and Kyle Pitts have a good game, but then Mariota didn't really do anything with his legs. Yeah. So, eventually we're going to get a game where all three hit. Mariota's rushing ability, Pitts, and London going off. So he definitely has like a top 5 week in him, right?
Yeah, Cordell Patterson won't rush for 140 plus every week. Although I'm loving that as well. All right, who you want?
I am very low on Matthew Stafford. He's my QB.
He's taking my guys.
Oh no! No,
I'm kidding. You got it.
We can alternate.
No. Keep going. I love it. I love the call.
QB 21.
I love the call.
His ECR is QB 10 for some strange reason, but this is a tough road matchup. And these Niners Ram games are always fun to watch. They're just tough, physical. The Rams have a very low team total. I was like shocked when I saw it. But it's like 20 right now.
Yeah.
So Stafford has no rushing upside to kind of pull him out of a matchup like this. So he is like a low end QB2 this week. And then I don't know why Russell Wilson, his consensus rank is QB 11 right now. I'm not sure if everybody watched Sunday Night Football, but I was low on him last week. I'm low on him again. He's my QB 19. To be fair, this should be a much easier matchup against the Raiders, but until we see any signs of life in the passing offense here, I'm treating him like a QB2. So this could be a week where they lean on the run game. Might as well. They have Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon right now, and their defense. So I'm very low on Russell Wilson right now. Still.
So I actually have Wilson as QB 12, so I'm closer. I have him 246 yards, 1.53 touchdowns passing. So not crazy stats, but I do have him as the QB 12. Stafford was the guy I was gonna say though. He's my QB 19, so I'm actually a spot or two higher than you. But I noticed kind of the same issue with Stafford is that usually you're projecting the Rams for 27 to 30 points, or at least in the mid 20s. Yeah. This week the projection's 20, and I think that's also probably why I'm a little higher on Wilson. And I think that 49er defense is for real. I've been saying this, when the teams that can rush floor and get pressure, those are the teams that are going to be hardest to play for opposing offenses. The Niners can do that, and they stepped up their cornerback group with Travarius Ward. Mosley's playing well, and Talanoa Hufanga, the safety, looks like the next Polamalu out there. So they just got a bunch of studs all over that defense. And last year, when the Niners defense was going through some issues at corner, Stafford still had 2 of his 3 worst yardage games in the regular season against them, and 2 of his 5 multi-interception games in the regular season came against San Francisco for the Rams. So for Stafford, so he played a little bit better in that kind of comeback game script in terms of the raw numbers in the playoffs, but still you're looking at more often than not in the 3 matchups last year, he did not put up numbers at all. So yeah, Stafford's well outside the startable range this week. I would venture.
Yeah.
All right, prop. We are going to have to go with Justin Fields passing yards. No. So it's been bad. They're just hiding him. So I'm gonna set. Sheesh. I don't even know how. It's like you can't set it low enough for Justin Fields. But I'm going to set his passing prop at sheesh.
Didn't we discuss this last week too?
Probably, I think, and you're like, yeah, I need to go lower, so I'm gonna go low. Let's go.
Yeah, be careful.
149.5.
Oh, okay. That's that. I have him like 155, and I don't feel great about it. So, oh man, that's tough. Let's see. I'm gonna go with the over. I hate to say it.
Oh yes.
I just talked about just some regression here, but
I was hoping I could get you.
I do not feel great about that at all.
Yeah.
But we're in a range that we've never. I mean, back in the day when I projected Tim Tebow, those were like my early days of projecting weekly projections. I can't think of anybody that I've had this low, but it's well deserved. And 149.5 is probably a great line, but they're gonna have to throw it at some point. So I'm going with over.
Yeah, I have it a little higher. I felt like you were gonna be low, so I had it lower.
No, that was a perfect line because I was very torn with that. But yeah, it's incredible. So he's 121 is his season high, so he's gonna have to set a season high this week. But yeah, it's been bad
against that Wink Martindale blitz. I mean, they just have to hope they get single coverage and like one big play.
I need like a Mooney deep ball finally for this one to hit.
That's been a rough. Mooney's been like a rough one. He's like, nothing.
All right, Velas Jones to make his debut and
that'll
surprise everybody.